So it's been, I don't know, a month since I did anything to this bike. We're in weird times. I've been waiting on a number of parts. Current situation we're in is making some of those difficult to get. Some things have shown up, so we can continue on getting the front end together. Wish I'd started on this thing earlier because an adventure bike is kind of like a bug out bike, and this would be the time to have one. In fact, I think for the time being, this is no longer the MT FZ07 Adventure Build Series. I think it's the MT Bug Out Survival Bike Series.
MT07
Survival
Bike Series will hold some parts on.
So this will be my apocalypse. Before we get to that though, let's talk about today's video sponsor, FootMouse.
Introducing a revolution in gaming. FootMouse, the first science-based gaming mouse made for feet.
I've been using FootMouse since 2017, but not on land. There's a lot of controversy.
The FootMouse thing was fake. Our other video sponsor of today, Raid Shadow Legends. And in case you haven't heard of Raid Shadow Legends, I don't see how. It's a fantasy RPG game, play on your phone or tablet and your PC, and they cross-platform. This is my world. I'm just trying to unlock this sparring pit because that sounds cool. I'm trying to level up my player. Oh yeah, let's summon this thing. There's daily rewards, and for new players, those daily rewards will be doubled for the next 180 days, up from 90. And these rewards will let you do things like refill your energy, get silver and gems. Raid Shadow Legends, they've been supporting us YouTubers hard, so go support them and support me by checking them out. Go click the link in the description, and as a new player, you'll get 50 gems and 100,000 silver. And I think you should spend it like a stimulus check. Just blow it on something. You also get one energy refill and a free champion, the Adjudicator. I mean, who wouldn't want the Adjudicator? Just look at him. Look at him. You'll find your extra rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Show some support for me by going to the link in the description right now. Download that thing. Get all that cool free stuff they're talking about. Have some fun. These things have arrived. So going back 2 videos ago, we jacked the rear of the motorcycle up. Starting last video, we were working on the front of the motorcycle. I did a brief explanation of what a fork cap extension was, but just to re-go over it real quick, because it has been a few minutes. See, my skills as an artist have improved. This is clearly the front suspension off of a motorcycle. This is our little cap here on the top. To make our suspension longer, not increasing the travel necessarily, but just giving us more ground clearance, we are putting a taller cap on this thing. And now the entire fork is longer. Amazing! I have a friend that works in a machine shop that made these for me. If the suspension on this bike was like really, really good, I'd probably be doing this a little more precise. I'd probably be trying to get some springs. I'd probably be talking to a suspension shop. Like I said, the suspension has always just kind of been whatever on this bike. And when I take it off-roading, it's actually not been so bad. It's still a little under-dampened, and so the heavier weight oil should help. A lot of guys online say they go to 20 weight, but my buddy Matt, who's heavier than I am, went to 20, and then he switched it back to 15. He said, for what we're doing, and he said, since I weigh less than him, he said, just go with the 15 weight. So I'm gonna do what he said. Normally, if you knew you were gonna take this cap off while you still had it clamped on the bike, you would loosen this. Because, you know, trying to turn this, obviously this is slick. How do you do it? There we go. Take your hand, kind of palm it. Spacer. Why we put cardboard down, because forks are a messy job. However many shop towels you think you need, do like 20 more. Let that drain for a few minutes. I like to let mine drain a little longer than normal, and I'll explain that why in a minute when we go to fill them. Give them like 15, 20 minutes. Actually, dinner's ready for me, so I'm gonna go eat dinner by the time I come back. This should be fine. The fork's nearly done draining. Let's go ahead and get our fluid and everything else ready. But here's the deal. The reason I'm draining it super, super well is because we're gonna fill it to the factory spec of how much fluid should be in there. The way that you should fill forks up, the main measurement you'll see, it has to do with the height. And what that is measure the fluid from the top of the fork. Usually it's with the spring and spacer out. Basically, you're getting this exact volume. And there's a tool for that. You can actually make this tool pretty easily. I just don't have one. I really don't have a great excuse for it. I actually, anticipation for doing this was going to go out to one of the stores and get a big syringe and a piece of copper pipe and everything I needed to make this tool. But with everything going on, I don't know if I can find that stuff now. That's why we really want to drain it all the way out, because that other method, if there was still residual in there, you'd have it perfect at that point. I have a ratio right, which has some measuring stuff on here. Don't worry, I've cleaned this out really well. The spec is like 13.689. I'm just going to fill it to 14. stock cap. What we need to do is we need to get this O-ring off to put on our other fork. So what we can do is if you just take it and kind of do your fingers like that, see how you can make a little loop in it there and roll it off there. It's never a bad idea on any kind of O-ring to put a little oil on them, but especially one that's going to be spun as it goes on. Little spacer. That's not the spacer, this is the spacer, oh Lord. New cap here. This can be tricky, like to get the threads to catch, just because you know you have to kind of put a little bit of force on it and spin it at the same time. This one though, because there's so much room to grab it, that's actually really easy. Normally you're kind of doing this palming motion, but look at that, a nice long fork now. You know on those cooking shows how they start cooking something and they're like, bam, another one. All right, so before we slip these up, I want to put a cover over this because we're gonna have that knobby up there kicking things up. We're going extreme. Obviously we took that little plastic, whatever that thing was on here off, that little mini rock deflector. Originally I really wanted to put the gators or accordions, you know, on here, the old school looking ones. It's been kind of hard to find ones that are the right size for these. If you can find one that fits these forks, they're normally for like a fork with 11 or 12 inches of suspension travel. So it'd be pretty bunched up on here. They look kind of goofy. It's really hard to get parts anyway right now, but I was able to get me some of these fork seal, what are these, the seal savers. These are the exact same ones I have on my XR. Give this thing a quick once over before you slip this guy on. You also have to decide whether you want the Seal Saver logo at the top or bottom. You have to pay for the part and advertise it for them. It'll seem impossible. You got to get this over here. Sometimes you have to make a grunty face, like if you're not going on and you're not making a grunty face, then you need to try that. Look at that. Yeah. We'll start slipping these guys back in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one up right here because I know when this is all the way up in here, that little tightening point I have, well, I won't be able to see it. I'm gonna just do a temporary zip up on it right here. Just wanna make sure that this part's still above, not down in the clamp. Push it through here. Try not to pierce everything on the other side, and we'll just, you don't have to go crazy on that. Don't, you know, or you're just gonna end up breaking this. For right now, what I wanna do is I wanna make these flush with the top. And so there's a good edge going around most of this until it starts ramping up. So you can just take anything with kind of a flat edge here and just kind of, you know, press it up against there. Easy way just to make them flush. When there's two, you want to stage them a little bit. You could break it if I like just hammered that in there. So if you're uncomfortable with that, just use hand tools. So I'd love to go and pop the wheel on now, see how this thing looks. I still don't have my new rotor carriers. They're on the way as of today, so we should have these like in a day or two. There's a few other things we can do on the front end. I'd like to work on the front fender. It's actually a Supermoto fender, it's a UFO. I think it actually would be the one that works out best. Mainly to do with the layout in here, which I'll explain in a minute, for bolting it on here, because that's not going to be done in a very traditional way at all. We'll probably have to hack the back of this fender off, because otherwise it'll run into the radiator. So before we can mount that though, that means what we need to do is we need to put on our new Radiator Guard, because we want to make sure that we're not flinging junk up into the radiator. Since we are going to be running a nice high fender now, our radiator is going to be exposed, so we need a cover for it. And I picked up this one. This is one that actually covers the whole thing. There's some real cheap, like $20 ones. A lot of them just leave this whole bottom bit and top bit open. Came with 0 instructions and some of this foam rubber. I have no idea what this foam rubber is for. The only thing I can think is maybe it goes along the bottoms here and the top. I don't know, we'll do that with it. Yeah, sure. Hey, that looks all right. This is gonna be one of those operations where you need to get every screw in probably first, a couple threads before you start tightening anything. So it was having like a little like a kind of noise, and it was making contact right here. Maybe that's where they wanted you to put that foam stuff. But it's fine, because I've got a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, now it's not making that noise. We're now ready to kind of get our fender up here and see how things are gonna work, and it is gonna run into the radiator. It's like blocking, you know, about a good third of the radiator anyway when it is on there. Now we don't wanna just hack it completely at the back. You still want some of the fender because that will help bearings and stuff up in here. We don't wanna just have splashing crap fly up into this all the time. Got this little V right here. Maybe if I just like draw a line up from like there to about this point and then follow it down. Now we have kind of like a little triangular here. Yeah, that'll work. Best thing to do is not overthink it. big stuff on here, you can just kind of take a razor, see how you kind of just trim it off. Cleaned it up. Yeah, we should be fine like that. If you've ever taken a bar end out, what it has in there is a rubber plug. What happens is once that tightens up, it scrunches that rubber plug up a little bit. It gets a little bit fatter in the center, and that causes it to, you know, stay in. They don't want to come out. Now that hole's a little bit too big for one of those, but what I did here is I took one of those and I took a piece of old inner tube. We'll take this guy. It's just snug enough. Yeah. Oh, it's really stiff. We just loosen up, and you don't want to pull these all the way out. You just want to loosen them, and then there we go, and yeah, that'll work. We use a longer bolt when we do this, but yeah, it looks like if you just got a piece of old inner tube and one of these old bar ends, you can make that work. It's not the most prettiest thing in the world, but you know what? It'll work, and no one will see it. All you'll see when it's done is a bolt with a washer on it, so no problem. I've never tried anything like this, but I'm gonna give this a shot. It's not perfect, but I think that'll work. You know, normally, like I said, these 4 holes are landing here, and I knew this. This is one of the reasons I picked the UFO, because some of these have a really weird shape in the middle here. This one, why it has a valley, it's not insane. I kind of marked it. We roughly need to make that hole right in the middle here. Kind of do this motion. And we've got some triangulation going on there. Drill these holes out a little bigger than you think you need them, because most likely this isn't going to be 100% perfect. So with everything still kind of loose, you can kind of, you know, crank it over a little bit, do what you got to do. I found a little spacer here, that way filling in this gap here. You do kind of have to start this part now. So that's, we've got all our bolts in now. We can kind of see we got a little bit of play in this thing. Pretty good right there. We're just clearing it, so that's good. Fender looks good, fork seals looks good, everything's looking good on here. Since I do have some extra time here, we're waiting on that other part. Antigravity Batteries, I'm sure you've heard of them before. Sent over one of their batteries, and this is good because I don't know if you heard the last few times I started it, it's not happy. That battery wasn't gonna work. We knew we needed to replace it. Why is it called anti-gravity? Ooh, it's magic. No, it's lithium. They feel comical, how light they are. It feels like there's nothing in here. This is over 10 pounds, I'm sure. Pretty lightweight. Cold cranking out 190. This is 360. We're gonna start real good. It says restart right here. This battery going smart. It monitors itself. So if you leave something on like a dingus and it sees, yo, I'm about to like lose enough charge in here not to be able to restart the bike, it turns its own self off. Oh man, I'm so dumb. I left my light on all night. Click the little button right here and it's gonna restart. This battery costs more than this battery. This battery is going to outlast this battery by so much. Economically, it just makes way more sense to buy one of these. If you would like your own anti-gravity battery, well then you can use the code, Gone Forgot TGS10 will save you 10%. They also sent me some other things in here. Audio cap beanie. This is kind of crazy. This is a beanie, a music player. It can take phone calls. And this also will come in handy. Flashlight, which is a flashlight, a music player, charged USB devices. You can answer phone calls with this flashlight. Where's your barrel there? Oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. Hello. I've got the beanie and the flashlight charging, and we're gonna come back to this because I really want to take a phone call on a flashlight. It all seems good. We made some pretty good progress. Unfortunately, we still don't have the front wheel back on, and that's because I'm still waiting on rotor carriers. I know they have been shipped, but I don't know when they're gonna get here. Shipping's all messed up right now. I really want to end this video though with this thing like rolling. I really just want to see how it sits and what it looks like. So you know what? I'm just gonna put the front wheel on anyway. Look at this, dude. It's not even, we actually have to jack it up more. We're not even tall enough. Oh, dude, look at this thing. I don't need a ramp. I don't need a ramp. The kickstand is like, oh, that's That's sketchy. Well, it's getting silly now, isn't it? She's got dyno jammies. I don't have dyno jammies. The kickstand's gonna need some work for sure. I'm gonna sit on this thing here in just a second because I want y'all to see how tall it is. I'm holding a baby, so I'm kind of stalling for time right now. So let's get this thing off of. All right, we're on the tippy toe. I don't have no front brake to hold it all. Where's the at? I think it's gonna be good. I think it's all gonna work out real nice. If you wanna see ad-free versions of these videos, extended, early access, go check out Patreon. Oh, Spicy 110 is calling me. Spicy, should people like and subscribe and all that stuff?
Probably yes.
Tell people about anti-gravity batteries.
They're light.
You know that if nothing else, you know they're light. Look baby, you wanna press that button right there? If you want stereo sound, pop that end off and you pop this one on, you hold that one, okay? Yeah, you hold that one. Ian?
What up?
I'm talking to you from a flashlight.
Team Ray.
I'm now using the flashlight as a flashlight while speaking to you on it. This is the future.
Sounds horrible.
I'm doing too many things at once. I'm filming a video, holding a baby, talking to my brother on a flashlight phone. Look, Ian's talking to me on this. Say something, Ian.
Diane.
How does that happen?
Because this is the future.
Shut up.
This is the future.
Why? That's the most absurd thing. Why do you need a microphone?
Quiet, they're a sponsor. It's doing a lot at once. I mean, hey, let me ask you this. Is your phone a flashlight?
Yeah.
Which flashlight's better? I mean, come on. This is the future.